Hey everyone, this is Austin, and welcome back to another review of Danmachi Season 3, and I'm just going to say straight out, the episode was pretty good, and I am going to throw some things in here. I'm going to try to back off from the light novel comparison, because I think I'm just going to review it as an anime, because it's the right thing to do. But anyway, so, in the beginning, we kind of see the Achilles Familia kind of just being involved in that whole special monster stuff, and we do meet one of the biggest troublemakers, Dix. Yeah, it's DIX, just gonna make sure YouTube knows that I said it that way, because YouTube isn't very kind with me when I make jokes like that sound familiar to other words. But yeah, he mentions how a monster's hideout has kind of been this, it sets up from the last episode with the two adventurers, if you don't remember, talking about, these monsters picking up equipment and everything, and which is well done in my opinion. And we see that the one that got away is a very rare species. I mean, yes, dragons are usually rare in a fantasy setting, and basically Dix runs the Familia, and Achilles just doesn't do much. He just watches everything. And to explain what he is, again, he is the god of nightmares. His mom is Nyx, the goddess of the night, and his brother is Thanatos, the god of death. If you played Persona 3, you'll know who they are, just like, I just. But yeah, gods can see through the lies. That's going to play a big part towards the end. And I do like how the anime kind of portrays him as very creepy, because that's who he is. And we see that everyone's gathered around in the Familia, the Hestia Familia, and they're now talking about what they found out about talking monsters, because they want to know. And the guild is the best choice to dig up something about that, but you won't get much out of a lot of people, as we're seeing. It's interesting to see how they kind of just cut out certain conversations, but then again, they weren't necessary. I do like how we're slowly seeing Lily just warm up to Winnie, but it's nothing. I really feel Lily's trying to become the most hated character of the fall season. We always have one character we always hate every season. She might be that one, but anyways, they go back into the dungeon to figure out where Winnie came from, and I forgot to mention that she actually has the same voice actress as Philo from Shield Hero, if you recognize that voice, and it makes it all the more painful when she cries in this episode. And we see Belle goes to ask Ryu for help, and Ryu was going to deny, but Aisha from the last season came and she said, "Oh yeah, I'll help her. We'll help him." And this goes into a huge argument. I was screaming, "Catfight, catfight, catfight." And basically, it was Aisha is trying to get a piece of Belle, to say the least, and Ryu's like, "No, mine," kind of thing. But I'll ask the question here: would you prefer an Amazon or an elf? Guys, come on, answer that in the comments down below. But anyways, of course, Ryu agrees to help Belle because Aisha is such a problematic person to let Belle go alone, kind of thing. Which, I mean, yeah, come on, we all know that's. We saw what almost happened last season, okay? We all did, but I do like this whole dynamic of stories not forgetting certain characters and bringing them back. Shield Hero does a good job at that. I'm going to say, as usual, I'll always compare that, but yeah, continue on. We actually get to see, how far Aisha's come from the last season as, time has passed. And she is wicked as strong as usual. She actually went to go train because she was defeated the last, thing. And I really do like how we get to see Ryu and Aisha kind of just show off a good amount. And I mean, they're both really strong characters. And we now see the biggest problem. Belle can't defeat monsters. He has the curse of knowledge because, what if they feel just like, Winnie does? And it's just this whole new thing that Belle has to get used to. And this is the thing I keep telling a lot of people about with knowledge. With knowing a lot of things you don't want to, truthfully, because ignorance is bliss, as they say. I'm going to leave it there. But yeah, we see Wealth and Belle going to look at the area where, Belle found Winnie. And we hear again with the Colossal Tree Labyrinth coming up again. Really pay attention to that, I'm going to be honest. But anyways, continuing on, we see that they're being watched by some cloaked figure in the distance, and they come close to the cloaked figure, and this is where it comes into something really interesting. And the cloaked figure said that Wealth and Belle smelled of her people, but not the blood of her people. And Fells comes up, pay very close attention to that name, you'll see why. But anyways, continuing on, she brings up the question, do you believe we can coexist? Which was in the start of the season. And the soundtrack right here in this scene was beautiful, honestly. It kind of reminded me of The Witcher. If you ever played The Witcher 3, that right here I'm like, oh, am I going to need silver here? But all jokes aside, it shows that there's more like Winnie. And after that whole encounter, Belle gets passed by Dix, and now he wants to figure out what Belle knows, in a sense. They actually now leave at the dungeon, and they have something at least, Wolf and Belle, and Aisha wanted to know, but she drops it. Wolf is still in shock of what happened, and so is Belle. They kind of go their own separate ways, basically to think what they just witnessed, because it was a lot for them, because they've always been hardwired. Monsters are bad, and they now have been proven twice. Maybe they're not. And we see Achilles come out of nowhere to interrogate Belle, basically. And this is where it gets very interesting, and he actually, hey, have you heard of this monster that can speak, basically? And we see Hermes come out of nowhere to save Belle, because you don't mess with Belle when Hermes is around. That's what I'm going to say. No, just don't do that. But anyways, yeah, so Hermes has business with Achilles, and this is where it gets very interesting, because Hermes confronts, Achilles about his familia being involved in smuggling, and we heard about the evil faction, Ilios. I'm not going to pronounce it correctly. It's the dark faction, to say the least, and it was kind of funny with that name. But yeah, we have Achilles kind of just saying that he's not an evil god, and it made me laugh because of what his nature is and how he's being accused of all these things, and he kind of just dodges the questions and just says, hey, I'm going to watch what my kids do, because I'll find something entertaining, and no matter what you do, they're going to go to another god and do the same thing. And going on to the lighter part, which was heavy at the same time, we see Haruhime and Winnie playing hide and seek, and I do like how, Winnie goes to Belle's bed and kind of just smells him, and just like, she really, really, really wants Belle to come back, and no, she is not part of his harem. I'm going to have to say that straight out right now. That's creepy. It's kind of like Belle's daughter in a sense. But that's where I'll leave that. And we kind of come back to where Wolf has returned to tell everyone what they have found. Then we have Lily, the troublemaker, bring up how they should stop sheltering, Winnie, and she overhears that, obviously, because she's next door. And I'm going to be honest right here, Lily has no room to speak. And this is why I really disliked her, started to dislike her in this entire series, because it's just, she's hypocritical. How can she say, hey, Winnie's really bad because of this and that? One, she was a huge trouble thing in the beginning of the first season. I'll talk about that a little more later on, but continuing on with the whole, anime episode, we see that, Winnie runs out looking for Belle because it was just what she heard. She's scared that she's going to be thrown out, which causes a whole commotion because she's not supposed to be out there. The monster's not supposed to be out there, and she actually has super hearing, and she sees that a kid is about to be crushed by a bunch of boxes, and she jumps to save her. And this is the effect of, her being with Belle, and when she saves the, human child, they all stone her because she's a monster. This is where we see the whole reminder of, remember, she's a monster, she's not accepted in a sense. That's what this arc is going to be doing back and forth. And we see Belle's going to run and save her, but Wolf stops him and say, hey, think about how you're going to get out of that if you do that kind of thing. And we see Lily step up and save Winnie, basically, in her disguise. And Belle returns to the old home, and this is where we see Belle still hasn't made his mind up about the whole coexisting thing. And this is kind of an interesting ending to the episode, because it just shows that Belle still doesn't know. And, I mean, realistically, not many would figure out right away. But Belle is... we all know he's gonna, yeah, we can, in a sense. But we see that Onoros was watching it all go down and talk about how there's a little ray of hope, that basically this was a test. He is going to be testing a lot of Belle and stuff. But next episode, we saw the whole Xenos being mentioned, and it's going to be a very special mission that they can't reject. I'm going to say it a bit. But going on to the whole Lily thing, my thing with Lily, I know some people are like, she's in the right. I wouldn't say that, for the simple fact that she's caused so much, basically, drama for Belle in the beginning, and she's trying to be a hypocrite with, Winnie, and Yeah, that's why I was irritated with her. But anyways, guys, let me ask you, do you think that monsters and the humans can coexist in this series? Let me know in the comments down below. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next review, which is Kimi-san. Don't worry, that'll be coming. But anyways, guys, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next time. This has been Austin, and I'm signing out. Peace.